Hello to our WEC parents, students and teachers. This video is about how we assess in secondary and supporting you to understand these processes. My name is Martin O'Hare and I am the Secondary Vice Principal, and assessment is one of my main areas of responsibility. One of the challenges we have in secondary is that we have three different methods of assessment. The rationale for this is that assessment in year 10 to 13 is governed by the grading of the GCSE and A-level curriculums. In years 7 to 9, we've decided to continue with the fabulous work of the primary school and keep the same grading system of the mastery curriculum. With the transition from primary to secondary, we feel it is beneficial to keep the same assessment system. Students are graded from entering to deepening. At Key Stage 4, we use the GCSE criteria of 9 to 1, and then in Key Stage 5, we use the A level grades of A to E. What you will see in this image, highlighted in yellow, is the age expected attainment, and in green is the above age expected attainment. We also use fine grading, using plus and minus grades, to monitor progress within a grade. We use the CAT4 assessment to help us set minimal targets for individual students, and I'll talk more about that later. This allows students to have targets relative to their cognitive abilities as well as considering age. A student in year 10, for example, could have a CAT indicator target of a 7, which is obviously above the age expected attainment. We also have the P scale, which relates to students in Key Stage 3 that may not be able to access the curriculum for a variety of factors, particularly English learning needs. The diagram here outlines the grading comparison between the old legacy GCSE grade, A to G, and the new 9 to 1 grading system. You will see that a grade 4 is similar to a C, a 5 is in between a C and a B, and that a 7 and above is equivalent to an A and above. In the secondary school, we have two different assessment pathways, the progressive and the modular, and this will vary per subject and key stage. Fine grading will allow us to track progress within a certain grade. For example, you may have securing minus, securing, and securing plus. In a progressive pathway, students make steps in attainment. At the start of the year, they may be on a developing, and by the end of the year, securing. Then whether or not they have met the end of year target would be the measure of progress. You will see in the diagram the arrow going up, so students make those steps in attainment. Alternatively, in the modular pathway subjects, students maintain the grade. They may start the year on a grade 6, and the expectation is that they maintain this throughout the year. It's also very common for students to progress and gain higher grades. This is relevant in a subject such as business studies, where the skills applied must be maintained throughout the year, even though more knowledge, content, and topics are being taught and covered. Please rest assured that your reports will indicate if a subject is progressive or modular. It's also important for you to see this. Students will be provided with an assessment criteria for a subject. Students know exactly what they need to do to achieve a certain grade. In this example for music, you will see a green is entering, yellow is developing, red is securing, blue is mastering, and a purple is deepening. Students therefore know exactly what needs to be done to achieve a certain grade and to make the next step. Another example of assessment in the secondary school are our key assessments. Teachers assess regularly in every single lesson through formative assessment in a range of different ways. Yet 3 times a year, students will undertake a key assessment. This is a more rigorous and quality assured assessment that will be moderated to ensure accuracy. The main aim is to prepare students for their GCSE and other external exams. For many subjects, students will be graded on performance in a single final exam, or maybe 2 or 3 final exams. We need to have this process throughout the school so that students are best prepared. It needs to have the same rigour and it needs to be firm. The key assessments are well moderated and quality assured, as you can see from the flow diagram, both before the key assessment and after it has been marked. This allows us, as well as our tracking throughout the year, to make key interventions at the most appropriately and, more importantly, prompt time. What you can see here is what a teacher's mark book looks like, and I'm hoping to explain some of the different grades. On the left-hand side, you will see the baseline grade, and this is where the student started at the beginning of the year. Usually, if the student is already existing in the school, we take the end of year attainment grade from the previous year and use it as the baseline grade. Some subjects are aware, though, that progress may suffer during time away from the school over the summer months and may set a baseline at the start of the year as a gap analysis to identify any gaps in learning or any misconceptions that have developed over that time. If you're a new student to the school, you will undergo a rigorous baseline assessment in each subject to help us understand your starting point. In terms of target setting, we use the CAT4 indicator as a minimum expectation of where students need to be. If a teacher does not think that this is aspirational enough or challenging enough, we enter the realistic target. At WEC, progress is measured as to whether or not a student has met their target at the end of the year. Yet, students may not meet their target until the end of the year. So, how do we measure progress during the year? Well, for that, we use residuals. You will see that the second student in this image has a target of 5, yet their current grade is a 4 plus. It is therefore likely at a midpoint during the year that they will achieve their target by the end of the year. So we say they are working towards expectations and are likely to achieve that target by the end of the year. This is a fantastic tool to help us identify which students are on track to achieve their target, which have met their target and need to be stretched and challenged further, and which are below and need intervention or support. As I said earlier, this allows us to promptly identify the need and act accordingly. Go for Schools allows us to see the assessment data on the right hand side. Teachers use this as their mark sheet, and every assessment they do is inputted, and this will then update the current grade on the left hand side. It is all this information that will be readily available to you in reports that you have access to, but also in your Go for Schools account. I hope you have found this video informational. If you have any additional queries, please do not hesitate to contact me. My email address is at the bottom of the screen. Please also read the secondary guide for assessment that will be sent out to you in the coming days. Thank you very much for your time, and hopefully see you all in person very soon.